What if I told you that owning a home in 2025 might be more of a burden than a blessing? That the so-called American dream is now one of the most expensive subscriptions you can sign up for? Today, we're answering a question that almost every adult in America is asking: should I rent or buy a house right now? And the truth, the right answer in 2025 is not the same as it was in your parents' generation. Let's break it down with logic, facts, and a little bit of brutal honesty. Let's start with the numbers. As of 2025, the median home price in the US is about $420,000. Mortgage rates? Still stubborn, sitting between 6.5% and 7%. That means if you want to buy that average home with a 20% down payment, you need to come up with $84,000 in cash, plus closing costs, inspection fees, and maybe even a bidding war premium. Your monthly payments, including mortgage, property tax, homeowner's insurance, and routine maintenance, will run you about $3,200 to $3,400. Now let's compare that to renting the same home in the same area. Most renters are paying around $2,400 a month. So here's the real question. Are you paying more just to own something you still technically owe the bank for the next 30 years? Let's hit pause and bust some common myths. Myth number 1, renting is throwing money away. Not true. Renting is paying for a service, housing. You're not throwing money away any more than you are when you buy food or internet access. You're paying to live with flexibility, no repairs, no property taxes, and no lawn to mow unless you feel like it. Here's the key difference. Renting buys you time and freedom. And in an economy where flexibility matters more than ever, that's a valuable currency. Myth number 2, buying is always an investment. Wrong again. Your primary residence is not an investment. Why? Because it doesn't generate income, it generates expenses. A real investment produces cash flow. A home produces bills, repairs, taxes, insurance, water heater malfunctions, HVAC systems, leaky roofs. All of it is your responsibility. And the average homeowner spends 1% to 4% of the home's value annually on maintenance. That's up to $16,000 a year on a $400K home. And here's the worst part. For the first 10 years of your mortgage, you're mostly paying interest, not building equity. So while your mortgage statement might say $3,200 a month, only a fraction of that goes toward actually owning the house. The rest, straight to the bank. So why do people still buy? There are legit reasons. Reason number 1, long-term stability. If you know you'll live in the same city for 10 plus years, buying protects you from rising rents and gives you control over your space. No landlord can sell it out from under you. Reason number 2, emotional value. This is hard to quantify, but it's real. Pride of ownership, customizing your space, raising a family in one place. These are valid lifestyle goals. Reason number 3, fixed housing costs. If you lock in a fixed rate mortgage, your principal and interest won't change, unlike rent, which tends to rise every year. Reason number 4, potential appreciation. Real estate tends to go up over the long term, but not always. And appreciation depends heavily on location, timing, and the economy. Now, let's talk about why renting might actually be the more intelligent move in 2025. Reason number 1, high interest rates. With mortgage rates close to 7%, you'll pay hundreds of thousands in interest over 30 years. Renting lets you wait for rates to drop, or for the market to cool off. Reason number 2, lower upfront costs. You can rent with 1 month's deposit. Buying requires tens of thousands in down payment, fees, and closing costs. That money could be invested elsewhere. Reason number 3, flexibility. You want to switch jobs, move cities, try out a new lifestyle? Renting gives you the ability to pivot fast, something owning can't offer. Reason number 4, investing the difference. Here's where things get spicy. Let's say you rent for $2,400 a month instead of buying at $3,300 a month. That's a savings of $900 a month. Plus, you didn't spend the $84,000 down payment. If you invest that $84K in the S&P 500 and it grows at an average 8% annually, you'll have around $180,000 in 10 years. And if you invest the extra $900 a month from renting, That adds up to another $165,000 over 10 years. Total, $345,000, while the home buyer is still paying off the bank. And that doesn't even include all the extra costs of home ownership. Now let's look at the risk side of owning. Home values don't always go up. 2008 proved that. So did the late 2022 market slow down? What if you lose your job, need to relocate, or go through a divorce? Selling a house takes time and can cost 6 to 8% of the home's value in fees and commissions. That's tens of thousands gone overnight. Renting, you just give notice. So what's the bottom line? Should you rent or buy in 2025? Here's the real answer. Renting is better if you're not sure where you'll live long term. You don't want to lock up all your money in a house. You value flexibility and lower risk. You're investing the difference consistently. Buying is better if you found your forever city. You have a stable job and 10+ year plan. You're financially prepared for all the costs. You're not buying at the peak of the market. But remember, home ownership is not a status symbol. It's a personal financial decision. The real dream, not owning a home. It's owning your time, your money, and your future. Don't buy because your parents said you should. Don't rent because you're scared of commitment. Do what fits your life, your goals, and your numbers. If this video made you think differently, hit that like button and subscribe to Deepmind Daily, where we challenge the obvious and rethink the ordinary. Drop a comment. Are you team rent or team buy in 2025, and why? Stay smart, stay mindful, stay in control. Peace.